Thanks for joining us in another episode of our sizing software video series. In this video, we're going to be covering the additional features page, which allows you to add features to the unit that you have chosen in the sizing results page. Going from the sizing results page to the additional features page, the first thing you will run into is a required option. You have to choose an option for this actuator. In this case, I chose an RS-824, and what it is requiring me is to choose a motor mount option. There is a none option, which will configure the actuator with no motor mount, and there's a your motor here option, which will allow you to choose which motor mount you want the unit to be built with. In this case, it brings you to our your motor here program and allows you to choose a motor mount based upon the motor series and brand, and specifically down to a motor size. In the end, you will have a configuration string that will have this YM code, and if you didn't choose a YM code, then the YM code will not be present in this configuration string. The rest of the additional features page has options that you can add to the actuator, whether it be rod ends or mounting options. The first page is mainly about mounting options and rod ends. You can add switches in the switches and leads page. And under the additional options page, there are a few additional options that are specific for the actuator brand that you have chosen, whether this be lubrication options or if Tolomatic will be mounting customer's motor. If you have a Tolomatic motor selected with your actuator, then underneath the drives and cables options, you can choose to add a drive or what cable sets you would want to have with this unit. There are several options, and you will have a pop-up window that allows you to choose which option you want to pick. When configuring an IMA actuator, the required options that pop up are the required cable and feedback options. This pop-up gives you the list of total options that you have for choosing your connector type and feedback device, and whether you would like to have a brake on the unit as well. Once you click this option and submit, then you are allowed to choose the other mounting options and additional options that you wish to have with this unit. Once you have selected all your options that you wish to have with your Tolomatic actuator, if you click Continue to Next Step, that will bring you to the project summary page. The project summary page summarizes what options and features you have chosen with your actuator. Underneath the generic picture of the actuator, you'll have a selection summary that specifies what options you have chosen with the actuator and what those options represent. To share this sizing with a colleague, simply copy the URL at the bottom of the screen or type in their email address and you can send an email to them with this URL copied. If you have an account with the Tolomatic sizing software, go down and you have available reports that you can print off of this sizing. To print out a report, you simply choose what report type you want and click the Print Selected Reports button. This will open up a PDF of the sizing software report for that application. In the sizing software report, it shows everything that this actuator was sized with based upon the information you put in the sizing software. The first page covers motor information and generic actuator information. It also includes the ordering string that you can provide to your local Tolomatic distributor for pricing and availability. The report goes into detail on the configuration string comments, the motion data that you put in on step 2 of the sizing software, some limitations of the actuator itself, such as screw and force, and some motor specifications again at the last page. This sizing software report is a very good tool for summarizing the actuator you chose and keeping record of how this actuator was sized originally, and provides information on estimated life and motor requirements for this actuator. In addition to printing out a PDF of the sizing report, you can have the selected report emailed to the email address associated with the account logged in on the sizing software. Additionally, you can have a step file model of the actuator emailed to that same address by clicking the Provide a Model of the Actuator Just Sized. This will email the step file of the actuator within 10 minutes to the email address specified. Also on the project summary are product warnings that may pop up informing you of options that you may have forgotten to choose or options that you should be aware of. For example, with the ERD series, you typically get a warning asking if you want the anti-rotate option added to the actuator. Thank you for joining us in the final video of this sizing software series.
If you have any additional questions about the sizing software process, feel free to reach out to your local Tolomatic applications engineer using the number on the screen or the web address.